Welcome to Fernando's Rant of the Day. I want to thank you for joining me. I want to let you know that the reason I do these videos is to try to bring to you as much value as I can. I know some of you have entrepreneurial aspirations. You want to break out of the rat race, the corporate rat race, do something for yourself, empower yourself to be able to provide for yourself. And if I can help one person break one chain out of their life and experience the next level of control and power over your own life, then mission accomplished, right? So that's the purpose of this video, to bring you as much value as I can. And what I'm going to discuss today is how to go from concept and idea to actual success and achievement. Okay, how do you do that? How does one do that? How do you go from an idea, an intangible idea, to the achievement of the idea, to actually seeing it, holding it in your hand, and experiencing it? So that's what we're going to talk about. What we have to understand first is the way, it's going to sound a little weird, but it's the way the universe works. You have to understand this. Well, what do I mean? There's universal forces that govern everything in life. And your life is no different. There's, depending on what study you look at, there's like between 7 and 12 universal laws that govern everything in the universe, including your life. So it's good to understand these laws. We're going to talk about one of those laws that govern the universe, and you'll see this permeating pretty much every area in the known universe. There's one law, okay? And it's kind of like we have to understand the system that we're working within. For example, the mouse on your computer is part of a larger system. The mouse functions because it's part of this larger system that it works together with for it to be able to function properly, right? The chain on a bicycle is part of a larger system that's meant to get you from A to B, but the chain itself and the links on the chain are part of a larger system. And there's certain laws that govern each of these components, and we have to understand them. So we're going to apply that to your life and how to take your idea from concept to achievement, okay? So the first thing to understand in the universe is that everything is either matter or energy. Everything in the known universe is either composed of matter, physical matter, atoms that stack up together and make the larger system, the material world, matter, or it's energy. Well, invisible energy, mysterious, invisible energy. Well, what is this mysterious, invisible energy? Well, when you split the atom, what comes out? A whole lot of mysterious, invisible energy. Sometimes it's visible depending on how large it is, and also this energy is infinite. It's literally infinite. And I don't mean this in a mystical sense. I mean this in a completely scientific sense. When you split the atom and you look at the quantum mechanics that make up the atom, the quantum particles that make up the atom, scientists and quantum physicists have realized that it's infinitely small, and each component is infinitely small, and as they split each component, there's more components inside of this stuff that's inside the atom, this energy, this invisible energy, this mysterious, powerful, invisible energy that's locked in the atom is infinite. It's just, as far as we know, it goes on forever. Kind of like space, it goes on forever. As far as we know, it's the same thing with this energy. So we have to understand this because you're trying to go from concept to fulfillment, from concept to achievement. You need to understand the universal laws and the system that you're working within for it to be able to work. I hope this makes sense so far. If not, it'll make sense by the end, okay? So some people believe that to be successful, it's kind of a moral, has to do with morality, how moral, righteous, and spiritual you are. This couldn't be further from the truth, right? Just because you're moral and ethical and in your mind righteous doesn't mean you're going to be successful. I'm not saying being unethical is going to get you success. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that success and achievement has nothing to do with morality. It's not a moral issue. You have to get this. Have you ever seen a really immoral person gain a whole lot of success in a certain area? Yeah, because of what I'm going to show you right now. It has nothing to do with morality or immorality, okay? You have to understand this. So, everything in the universe is either matter or energy. Now, our bodies are what? Matter or energy? Well, it's matter, right? So our bodies is made up of atoms. Now, our brain is matter, right? So our brain is not energy. Our brain is physical matter. It's physical. It's made up of atoms that stack up together and make up the tissues that make up our brain. So our brain is matter, made up of material, atoms. Now, what about an idea? Is an idea or a concept, an idea that's in your brain, is that matter or is it energy? Because everything in the universe is either matter or energy. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. So is your idea, is that matter or is it energy? Think about it. That's right. Your idea is actually energy that you interpret as an idea. You have to get this. I know I'm going kind of deep, but it's all going to connect in a minute. Just stay with me here, okay? So your idea is energy. Your ideas are energy. So if I think of a tree, is there, like, can a neuroscientist split my head open and then find a physical tree in my head because I thought of a tree? No. If I think of a cucumber, can a brain surgeon split my head open and find a cucumber in my head? No. Right? So an idea is pure energy. Just limitless energy is an idea, a concept. So how do you go from concept, from idea, from energy, to matter, to creation, to physically seeing it in front of you? Here's the law that you have to operate under in order to go from concept, from idea, to fulfillment of that idea, to seeing it in the physical world. It happens in a very specific and logical, scientific way. It has nothing to do with morality, right? It has to do with this law. What is the law? The law of reaping and sowing. The law of sowing and reaping. Okay? Now, some of you hear that, and right away it conjures up ideas of religion, religious concept. I'm not talking about the law of reaping and sowing from a religious biblical point of view. I'm not talking about that. Specifically just scientific, the way the universe, this law of reaping and sowing is embedded in the universe. In every atom of your body, there's this law of reaping and sowing. So this is how you go from concept to fulfillment and achievement, is by activating this law and operating under the law of reaping and sowing. Well, what the hell does that mean? Here's what it means. Think about this. If I think of a cucumber, how do I get that cucumber from my head to actually picking it off the cucumber plant? I have to plant the seed, water it, put it in the right ground at the right season, with just the right amount of sunlight, the right amount of humidity, and in time, a cucumber is going to grow. And at the right moment, I can pick that cucumber and then eat it. Right? The law of reaping and sowing. The law of sowing and reaping. This is how you go from concept to fulfillment. Now, there's a few things you have to know when you're trying to go from concept to fulfillment and achievement. You have to know the ground that you're planting in. You have to know the ground. Well, what does that mean in practical terms? Think about this. Think about the Wright brothers and what they did with Power Man Flight. They needed to know, they had the concept that we're going to fly, but they wanted to hold it tangibly, achieve that in the physical world. They had to apply the laws of reaping and sowing. Part of that is knowing the ground that you're in, the environment that you're in, the landscape that you're planting in. Okay? Well, what does that look like? So the Wright brothers had to know the forces that they were up against, right? So anything you want to achieve, go from concept to fulfillment, you're going to do that in a certain arena, if you will. You're going to do that in a certain landscape. You need to know the forces that you're up against in that landscape. So with the Wright brothers, what is the main force that keeps us from flying? Gravity, right? You have to. They had to understand gravitational pull, right? What's something else in the environment that keeps us from flying? Well, wind resistance. They had to understand the wind resistance, right? They had to understand fully gravity and wind resistance, and a whole lot of other factors. I'm not an aviator, so that's as far as I know. Maybe a few other things, but you get the concept here. So you need to know the landscape that you're in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Okay, so you need to know the land you're in, and then you need to circumvent those forces. But you have to understand all the forces that are coming against you in that arena. I see this in sales all the time. In selling, for example, we face a lot of obstacles to be able to achieve at high levels in selling. One of which, just one, is that most people don't like salespeople, don't trust salespeople. Automatically, we're liars. Everything that comes out of our mouth is viewed as a lie. Well, a lot of salespeople, they don't want to face that because it hurts their feelings and it makes them feel like liars when they're not liars. But you have to face that reality, that gravity, so then you can learn how to circumvent it and work around it. But you have to face it. I know companies like this. There's companies out there that won't face the forces that are up against them, right? We create these delusions. If you are basing your strategy on a delusion, all of your strategies are going to fall to the ground and not come to anything. So you want to face reality, those forces that are coming against you. If you're going in real estate, if you want to do great you have to understand the landscape. By understanding the landscape, now you can start circumventing those forces and bending the universe and those forces to do your bidding. But you have to face the landscape as it is, not worse than it is, not better than it is. Don't create delusions. Face it as it is, and then you can start circumventing it. That's exactly what the Wright brothers did. They had to face gravitational forces. They had to face wind resistance. They had to face the speed that you have to, and the wingspan, all this, right? If you're in real estate, if you're in sales, if you're trying to start your own business, learn the landscape, study, get a mentor, find out what those forces are that you're going to go up against. Don't bury your head in the sand. Okay? If you can do these things, then you can go from concept to achievement by planting the seed in the right soil at the right season for the right amount of time, with the right amount of water, with the right amount of humidity, and then you can see that seed grow, and then eventually you'll be able to eat the fruits that come from that. But you have to learn these forces. Most people don't. Most people think this is a moral issue, like being moral and righteous is going to get you what you want. It's not. It's not. You have to do specific things in a specific way to get what you want. There's a book written by Napoleon Hill that talks at length about this. And there's a book by Wallace D. Wattles that talks extensively about there's two people doing the same thing, same job. One is successful, one isn't. Why? Is one more righteous than the other? No, it's because one is doing a specific thing in a specific way to get the specific results. If you don't get this, think about the way Powered Man Flight works. Think about the way planting a cucumber tree or a pineapple tree or anything that you go from concept to achievement. You'll see this being played out, these forces being played out, this story being played out of reaping and sowing. Okay? So you have to learn the landscape. You have to learn everything you can. Why? Because there's going to be forces coming against you, and the only way to circumvent them is if you know what they are specifically, and then you can learn how to circumvent them and work your way around it to bend those forces to do your bidding. Learn everything you can about the landscape. Face it as it is. Not worse than it is, not better than it is. Don't create delusions. Face those factors, and you can go from concept to achievement. Learn as much as you can about the laws of reaping and sowing. Learn as much as you can about your landscape, and this is going to make perfect sense if you take the time. It has nothing to do with morality. It has to do with doing specific things in a very specific way to go from concept to achievement. Okay, I hope this helps you out. I hope you get a lot of value from this. I hope you can achieve your goals. I hope you can go after it. Don't delude yourself. Face those factors as they are, and then you can start to circumvent them, and then you can work your way around them if you face them as they are. Okay, so take this to heart. Go ahead and go after your goals. Go after your dreams. Let those chains of slavery break free from that, and achieve what you want. Okay. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.